This game wrap is brought to you by Score Game Day Bags. You got the hat and t-shirt, now get the Score Game Day Bag. Whimsical, classy, spirited, and sassy, visit ScoreGameDayBag.com. By San Antonio Masonry and Steel, located on FM 1560 North and in Converse. By Cat 5 Graphics, your t-shirt source, FM 1518 in beautiful shirts. And by... Hi everyone, Mr. Bowtie here. Thank you so much for checking out my content and my channel. Now make sure you bang home that red subscribe button on YouTube so that way you can stay up to date on the latest content from around the area that you won't find anywhere else. And follow me on Twitter at Mr. Bowtie 1982. Thank you so much and enjoy the show. The Reagan Rattlers are having one of their best defensive seasons on record, and they look to continue the fun against a team that they've had lots of fun with in recent years, the MacArthur Brahmas. The Rattlers come into the game 4-0 in district. They are battling Johnson for the district title. The teams will not play each other for a couple more weeks. Reagan in those 4 games really has not been tested. They shut out one opponent. They held 2 other opponents to 3 straight quarters without a score, and the other team didn't score in the second half at all. They've only allowed 28 points in those 4 games. Against MacArthur last year, the Rattlers shut out the Brahmas until the last play of the game when MacArthur broke up the shutout. MacArthur has had a nightmare season. They are 0-5, 0-4 in district. They've lost 14 games in a row, but a few years ago, a Tyler Vitt MacArthur team nearly upset Reagan in extra possessions, so the Brahmas are still very capable of surprising people. I'll save everyone the drama. The Rattler defense continued their mastery of NEISD and dominated this one the entire way. Opening kickoff, Mac tried a surprise onside kick. It went out of bounds and didn't even go 10 yards. It was a sign of what would happen in the game. When Johnny Carson hosted The Tonight Show back when late night TV was actually funny, one of his characters was Carson the Magnificent. That was the guy who wore the turban and predicted the future and read envelopes. Kids, ask your parents. Johnny Carson is long gone, but Reagan has Carson the Magnificent. Not sure if he can read envelopes that are hermetically sealed in a mayonnaise jar, but he can read defenses. Pitch from Britton Moore, and he just ran over the defense. On the next play, Carson the Magnificent with the 19-yard touchdown run. Those 2 plays were longer than the entire Mac offensive output in the game, Reagan up 10-0. Next Rattler drive, Carson the Magnificent with another touchdown run, 11 yards out, 17-0, still in the opening period. Green finished with just 11 carries, but for 147 yards. He would have had much higher numbers, but he did not play the second half because the game was already out of hand. He wasn't the only magnificent one in green. Moore tossed it up for Stayton Ankrom. Remember, FCC rules require us to show a Stayton Ankrom touchdown or else we could be heavily fined. 24-0 Reagan at the end of the first quarter. Green and Ankrom were good, but the offensive line was brilliant.
You have a good week of practice, go out there, execute, play hard. Go out there and be a man, just take care of your block, do right. We just work hard day in, day out, go out there and grind.
Pedro Ryan said, hey, why not make it Pedro the Magnificent? Mac only completed 2 passes the whole night, 1 to a Brahma and 1 to a Rattler. Pedro Ryan. And hey, the Pedro Ryan fan club liked that a lot.
It was a play that we practiced all we can practice, and it came out just like in practice. I just went out there and got it, so I was just happy to make a play for my team. We've been working really hard as a defense, and I feel like we're really coming together, and we're happy we got better today, so we can move forward and keep doing great.
Just before halftime, Derrick Bohler with an 11-yard touchdown run, 38-0 Rattlers at halftime, and most of the backups would play the entire second half. Heck, the Rattlers were so good, many of the players watched from the stands and still outplayed MacArthur. Reagan outgained Mac 309-6 at halftime and only allowed 2 yards of offense through 3 quarters. It was the second time in district play that the Rattlers held an opponent to less than 10 yards of offense through the game's first 3 quarters. The Brahmas didn't get their first down until 10 minutes remained in the game. Last year, the Brahmas scored on the last play of the contest to break up the shutout. They didn't this time. 38-0 win, their 10th in a row over MacArthur. They now own win streaks of at least 10 games in a row over 3 different district opponents. After the game, quarterback Britton Moore went over and shook hands with MAC quarterback Jackson Deason and gave him words of encouragement. Very, very classy. The NEISD standings are beginning to take shape. Johnson has clinched a playoff spot and cannot finish lower than second. Reagan has not clinched yet because they still have not played Roosevelt, who is next week, and Brandeis at the end of the year. In between is the Stone Oak Super Bowl, where the winner is guaranteed the district title. One other key game next week is Madison versus Brandeis. Reagan goes D1 no matter what combination of teams make the playoffs, but if Madison misses, then Johnson becomes the other D1. Hey folks, how about some sights and sounds from the team and the band? Reporting from Comalander Stadium, I'm Greg Sherman.